Imagine you fall head over heels for someone in just 2 weeks. They shower you with love, gifts, and promises. Then suddenly, cold silence. Criticism. You're left wondering what you did wrong. Or you confront your partner about something hurtful, and in seconds they turn it around, so you're the one apologizing for their mistake. These aren't normal relationship problems. These are 6 deadly mind games. Powerful manipulation techniques that can control your emotions, your decisions, and even your reality. Welcome back to Professor Nexus. Today we're breaking down these 6 complex manipulation techniques so simply that you'll spot them instantly and protect yourself forever. Let's dive in. Number 1. Love bombing. This is the hook. The manipulator overwhelms you with excessive affection, compliments, gifts, constant communication, and grand future plans, often in the very early stages of a relationship, friendship, or even a new job. It might look like daily long paragraphs saying, "I've never felt this way before," surprise expensive gifts, non-stop texting, or talking about moving in together after just a few dates. They may say things like, "You're my soulmate," or "No one has ever understood me like you do." Why it works. It floods your brain with feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, creating an emotional addiction fast. You feel special, chosen, and deeply connected. Real-life example. Someone you just met sends flowers to your work, plans elaborate dates, and shares intense personal stories to build quick intimacy. They insist on seeing you every day and get upset if you have other plans. Once you're hooked and invested, the affection suddenly drops. For the victim, it feels magical at first, then confusing and painful when the warmth vanishes. You start wondering what you did wrong to lose that perfect version of them. Spot it. If the intensity feels too much too soon, or they push for commitment before you really know each other, slow down. Healthy connections build gradually. Enjoy the attention, but keep your boundaries firm. Test by saying, "I need a bit of space this weekend," and observe their reaction. True care respects your pace. Number 2. Devaluation. This often follows love bombing. Once the manipulator has your trust and emotional investment, the mask slips. They begin criticizing, belittling, or undermining you, sometimes subtly at first, then more openly. You might hear backhanded compliments like, "You look good for your age," constant comparisons to their ex, "My ex never complained about this," or attacks on your intelligence, appearance, cooking, or dreams. They may mock your achievements or make you feel worthless. Why it works? It erodes your self-esteem gradually. You keep chasing the loving version from the beginning, working harder to please them and win back approval. Over time, you internalize the criticism and doubt yourself. Real-life example. After months of idealization, your partner starts nitpicking everything: your clothes, your friends, how you spend money, while reminding you of all they've done for you. You feel like you're never good enough anymore. Victims often describe it as walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid triggering the next put down. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and loss of confidence. Spot it. Sudden or gradual shift from praise to criticism, especially when tied to control. Remember, your worth is not defined by their words. Keep a private journal of positive truths about yourself. Healthy relationships lift you up consistently, not tear you down to maintain power. Number 3. Silent treatment. This is when a manipulator deliberately withholds communication, ignoring calls, texts, or even your presence, sometimes for hours, days, or weeks, without any explanation. They may still post happily on social media while leaving you in the dark. It's often used as punishment after a disagreement or to make you anxious and compliant. Why it works. Silence creates intense uncertainty and fear of abandonment. Your mind races, filling the void with guilt and overthinking. Many people end up apologizing profusely or changing their behavior just to end the painful quiet. Real-life example. You express a boundary or mild disagreement. Instead of talking, they stop responding entirely. You send multiple messages asking what's wrong, but get nothing. Meanwhile, they continue their daily life as if you don't exist. The anxiety builds until you break and give in to whatever they want. For the receiver, it feels like emotional torture, a mix of rejection, confusion, and self-blame. It can trigger deep abandonment wounds and make you question your own actions even when you did nothing wrong. Spot it. When conflict or even small issues lead to total withdrawal instead of discussion or a healthy cool-down period. Don't chase or bombard them with messages. Send one calm note like, "I'm here when you're ready to talk," and then focus on your own life. Silence loses its power when you refuse to let it control your emotions. Remember, healthy people communicate, manipulators punish. Number 4, DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. This is one of the most sophisticated flip tactics. When you confront them about hurtful behavior, they deny it ever happened. "I never said/did that." Attack you. "You're too sensitive/dramatic/crazy." Reverse victim and offender, making themselves the victim. "You're the one hurting me after everything I've done." Suddenly the conversation is no longer about their actions. It's about defending yourself or comforting them. Why it works? It shifts focus and blame so effectively that you end up apologizing for their mistake. It also makes you doubt your own memory and perception. Real-life example. You say, "It hurt when you canceled our plans again." They reply, "I never canceled. You're imagining things. You always make me the bad guy. I'm the one who's stressed and unsupported here." You walk away feeling guilty and confused. This tactic is common in abusive relationships, workplaces, and even public scandals. Victims often feel gaslit and emotionally exhausted. Spot it. The conversation flips, so you become the problem or the abuser within seconds. Stay calm and stick to facts. Use statements like, "We can discuss this when we're both calm." Document incidents privately if needed. Don't get pulled into defending your right to feel hurt. Number 5, guilt tripping. The manipulator uses your empathy and sense of responsibility against you. They make you feel bad for having normal boundaries or needs. Common phrases include, "After everything I've done for you, if you really cared about me, you would," or "You're going to make me depressed if you don't." They may bring up past favors, exaggerate their suffering, or compare you unfavorably to others. Why it works? Kind, responsible people hate feeling like they're hurting someone they care about. The guilt becomes a powerful lever to get compliance. Real-life example. You want to spend an evening with friends. They say, "I guess I'll just sit here alone like always." You never think about how lonely I am after I've sacrificed so much for this relationship. You cancel your plans out of guilt. Over time, this erodes your autonomy. You start avoiding your own needs to prevent the guilt trips. Spot it. When normal requests or boundaries are met with emotional blackmail instead of understanding. Recognize that your boundaries are not selfish. Respond with, "I care about you, but I also need to take care of myself." Don't negotiate your worth or time through guilt. True care doesn't weaponize emotions. Number 6, control and power play. This is the overarching strategy. The manipulator uses any combination of the previous techniques or others to keep you off balance, dependent, and under their influence. They set unspoken rules, decide the emotional temperature of the relationship, and make you feel like you're always trying to earn their approval or avoid their displeasure. You might walk on eggshells around their moods, lose touch with friends, or constantly adjust your behavior to keep the peace. Why it works? It creates a power imbalance where they hold the emotional cards. Over time, you lose confidence in your own judgment and freedom. Real-life example. They alternate between affection and withdrawal, criticize your choices, and use guilt or silence to steer decisions, from what you wear to who you see. You slowly shrink your world to fit their comfort. Victims often describe feeling trapped, anxious, or like they've lost parts of themselves. Spot it. You feel constantly monitored, judged, or responsible for their happiness. Professor tip. Reclaim small pieces of autonomy daily. Reconnect with friends, pursue your hobbies, and remind yourself that healthy relationships share power, not control it. You're not responsible for managing someone else's emotions. These 6 deadly mind games can appear in romantic relationships, friendships, family, or even workplaces. The good news? Awareness is your strongest defense. 3 professor rules to protect yourself. Trust consistent actions over intense words or sudden shifts. Pause and observe. Manipulators thrive on your immediate emotional reaction. Hold your boundaries kindly but firmly. How someone responds to a simple no tells you everything. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect, safety, and freedom, not control and confusion. Which of these 6 techniques surprised you most, or have you experienced? Share in the comments, anonymously if you prefer. I read everyone. If this helped, like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs it. Next time we'll explore even more mind games, but I'll keep the topic a surprise. Stay aware, stay kind to yourself, and never let anyone dim your light. Class dismissed.